I never know how to start these things. Why am I twisting this way? That's so annoying. Okay, stop clapping your hands in the video. One of the top 10 questions that I get is, what keeps you motivated? As well as what got you motivated in the beginning. In the beginning, I feel like one of the major motivators was that I just kind of looked at myself in the mirror. I started my journey in my early 20s. In a few years, I will be in my mid-20s. Is this the way I want to live my life? Or worse? Have I done anything with my life? Am I happy? What am I doing? I feel like I had a bit of an existential crisis. And I'm such a huge family person, so I was like, okay, so at some point you're supposed to like make an effort to have a family of your own. I want to get married. I want to have a family of my own. Like, I want kids, I want dogs, I want horses. I want all of that. And that just doesn't happen on its own. You have to open your door and go outside. You can't just sit down and be excited about plans getting canceled. No, but honestly, that was a big motivation. I tried to say motivation and motivator at the same time. But honestly, that was one big motivator. I kind of thought to myself, like, honestly, as mean as it sounds, the people that I'm attracted to, both mentally and physically, are probably not going to be attracted to me. Not even mainly because of the way I looked, but also because I was in a very bad mental state. Like, I was really depressed, I was really boring, I didn't do anything. I would just watch series when I was home alone. I feel like I watched Mike and Molly at least like 12 times. A person that I was attracted to is not gonna live my lifestyle. They're not gonna wanna watch Mike and Molly on the couch. Another major thing was that when I started my journey, I was in med school. I was like, nobody's gonna take me seriously being in the medical field, being very much overweight. If I don't take my own advice, why should I take your advice? Like, I meant that as a patient, like, why would they take my advice? Well, you know what I mean. And like in school, like our buildings were really, really old, so we'd had like freaking 12 floors. And I would leave early from lunch so I could make it to the top floor without being out of breath and without being really sweaty, because that would be really embarrassing. And I would just like watch these people just come upstairs and be like, so, oh, you already got here? And I was like, I've always been a girly girl, and I hated the fact that I couldn't wear anything. I would only wear leggings and huge tunics because nothing else would fit. I would hate how skin would like fold over my bra strap, and I just like felt super claustrophobic inside and disgusted by my own body. And like, the human body is made to move. It's made to be active. It's not meant to be carrying around all this excess weight, you know? That explains why I was so injured. So I felt so pathetic. I felt like I was a pathetic excuse for a human being. I know it kind of sounds really mean and harsh, but the point is that I kind of didn't wake up feeling all kinds of inspired. I mean, I did wake up several mornings going, yeah, I got this, I'ma do it, but I didn't. And the reason why I didn't was because it was too much. It was like I was a heart patient that just signed up for a marathon. It just doesn't work that way. I like to think about motivation as unlocking levels in a video game. Actually, Ben made a really good video about that. I will link it down in the doobly-doo. It's kind of like you need to finish an easier level before you can move on to the next one. There's no point in trying to defeat the final boss before you even know where the controls are. But like, don't let that discourage you because you're not competing against anybody. Who are you competing against? Somebody else who finished the final boss before you started your level? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, if you always fail, why do you keep doing what you do? Why do you think doing the same thing over and over again will get you different results? I'm not talking about getting fit or losing weight. Like, don't you ever dare to quit on yourself. Try different ways. Like, every goal can be broken down into at least 10 steps, which is exactly what I did. That itself will keep your motivation up. Succeeding at your goals, like accomplishing your goals. Once you get it once, you will want to get it twice, and you're gonna die before you quit because you want it 3 times. And you're gonna want to chase that feeling of success, like accomplishing something. One of the best things I've heard is motivation doesn't last. That's why it's recommended daily. I just found different ways of motivating myself. I had screenshots of quotes and sayings and pictures and Tumblr pages and Pinterest things. I even had selfies where I felt amazing because I finally accomplished a goal that I set for myself. It was literally like walking 20 minutes, doing 10 sit-ups and not eat anything unhealthy. Looking at that picture of myself where I just felt amazing because I was so proud of myself for finally accomplishing something in my life that I felt was hard. To feel the feeling of success by looking at that picture, that was a huge motivator. I had a notebook where I tracked my mental progress during the journey. I wrote down things and stuff that I wanted to do or goals that I only dared to dream of. And then I wrote down an action plan, figured out what it would take to reach those dreams. Let me go get it. Pixie decided that it doesn't need a cover. Little brat. She's lucky she's cute. So I did the silliest things to keep me motivated, like I put post-its in my book. I wrote down my trigger foods. I glued in my favorite quotes. Motivated myself in so many ways. It's so funny looking at this because this was only a few years ago and I've come so far mentally. Some of the things that I've written down in here, it kind of breaks my heart. I was so mean to myself. So unfortunately, when I started, a lot of my motivation came from self-hate. That's why it's so incredibly important to work on your mental part when you're losing weight or getting fit. Because just losing weight will not fix it. It will not make you magically love yourself. However, I used my self-hate to aid myself in the process. It was my goal not to hate myself anymore. Losing weight is hard because your body doesn't want to do it. Your body doesn't want to get rid of the fat. It wants to store it for a bad day. Like the zombie apocalypse. You just kind of have to convince it forcefully. I've always also been a party girl and a huge girly girl. Loved interior and clothes and stuff. So I used that to my benefit too. Instead of rewarding myself with food, I started rewarding myself with other stuff like getting my nails done or facials or massages, or if I did a really good workout, I would get myself a tan. And instead of going to the clubs and partying and feeling awful the day after, I would just listen at Avicii at the gym. And I would listen to a lot of songs that would make me feel super motivated, like I will work this body, I will burn this fat. It's so silly, but it kept me going. I was just running on my treadmill feeling like freaking Usain Bolt and listening to This Is My Year by Megan Tanya's. And nowadays, motivation has kind of become a habit for me. In the evenings, I lay out my gym clothes for the following morning. I mentally go through what I'm gonna eat the next day. And if things are really rough, there's this one song that I always listen to and it gets me going. It's like I kind of enter this deep vortex in my head and I just kind of go hardcore. And something that really drives me is the feeling of happiness. I want to be happy. There's nothing in this world I would rather be than happy. And I do whatever it takes to feel happy and truly happy. Take away the food, take away everything else. I want to be happy. I feel like I've said happy a lot now. Happy. Or when I feel like I'm doubting myself or I feel discouraged, I just kind of look at how far I've come. In this journal, for example, I can't ever imagine feeling that way ever again. Things that don't matter a year from now, I don't kind of pay attention to. But sticking to my diet and working out really hard will matter a year from now. I will be glad that I did. Small efforts every day will add up to great things. Imagine yourself as a second person. What would you tell that person? And take your own advice. Remember the feeling of success and strive to feel it every day. I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you got to know me a little better. Remember, it's all a mind game. I'll see you in the next one. My life that I felt was